Welcome, fellow travelers. I'm Joe. This is Good Times RVing. Today we're going to repair a little control panel display that I have for the Liquid Springs. They hot glued it onto the dashboard when they installed it 3 years ago. And the heat cycles, UV rays, etc. have deteriorated the hot glue that was holding the panel onto the instrument panel. And I've never liked where that was placed, because when I'm driving, the steering wheel is blocking view of that system. And there are the rare times when I want to adjust it while traveling. And it makes, then I'm starting to look around the steering wheel, trying to find it, trying to press on it. Not a good thing. Not a good thing to be doing, especially at speed. So I've decided that I want to mount it in the instrument cluster area. I don't want it to block anything, but there is room, and I'll show you here, for this little device. You say, well, where did you get this? This little device, 2 inches by 3.5 inches, is 3D printed. I used the Fusion 360 to design this, and of course I made a cardboard mock-up first, and then test fitted the mock-up, and then designed this using the Fusion 360. Got it free for 30 days. So, and then I found a local fellow to print it for me for $25 or something. It's cheap. I had really struggled on how I was going to build this, and I could have made it out of sheet metal, banged it around, got it to where it would work. Maybe some pop rivets on the side to make it stay together. Or I could have had it cut out of aluminum. Both of those probably would be more expensive than $25. Plus, it would have taken my time in the summer, working at a workshop, dripping wet in sweat. This way, I designed it in the AutoCAD, emailed the image, went back and forth a few emails, and a few days later, this shows up in the mail. And you'll see, you look at the side of it, there is a 5-degree offset. So this will sit with this face facing up just slightly. Give me a little bit better vision of the control panel. And I'm going to use just 3M double-sided tape. Use 3M double-sided tape. A couple strips. It's not very heavy. Just a couple strips and a couple strips on the bottom, and it'll be installed. So I'm very excited with that. I will use the primer for the tape. Not many people use this, but I have some, and I will use it just to make sure those surfaces are ready to bond with the very good 3M double-sided tape. Let's go through that and see how this works. But I'm very excited. This I'll show you the CAD drawing here. Okay, so here's Fusion 360, and this is the piece I designed in 3D. You can see the 5-degree offset here on the base with the face in vertical. And all I did with this, it's a quick design, it doesn't take a whole lot of skill. It's again in Fusion, Autodesk Fusion 360. I designed this up, I made a cardboard mock-up initially for size, for fitting the space, and then created this in this 3D software. It's relatively straightforward. You don't really need to read the directions. You just kind of, like I do, you push buttons until it comes out the way you expect it. And it shows the complete design. I verified the settings, found a local fellow with a 3D printer, and sent over the design, emailed back and forth on a couple of critical dimensions and exactly what it was going to be used for. He sent me a estimate of about $25, which worked out to be that $25. Printed it up in a couple days, and then he mailed it to me, and this is what showed up. Pretty nice, I have to say. To get something custom in a couple days is pretty unique. Back to the video. Fusion 360 is a very nice tool, very sophisticated, but for those of us that don't read instructions, we can figure it out easy enough. So this it is very sturdy, and I think I'll put the material that I used, that was used here. But it's a sturdy enough piece as long as it holds up to the UV and the heat cycles. I'm sure I'll have no problems with it. Very exciting. So let's get to work. So here we're just going to prep the surface. I'll let that dry. Use a little goof off to get this old heat gun glue off. And then this was here, and I'm going to mount it here. And it's not in the way of any of the gauges, and then I'll be able to see it through here. When it was mounted here, it was right behind this part of the steering wheel. It made it very difficult to see it when I was sitting in the driver's seat.
So here, tape, it's a bit of a chore for me. A bad angle there. Hard to get that tape off. But it's stuck on there very nicely, well positioned. It looks like it is sturdily is attached very securely. And here I'm just cycling the suspension. You'll notice that it takes a while to inflate, if you will, to gain pressure. It's because the coach has been sitting for a few weeks on the bump stops, so it's just purging the fluid. It goes through and does a self purge and gets any bubbles that may have found its way into the hydraulic fluid. It purges those out and then creates pressure. And as you see those dots move to the top of the controller, the rear of the RV is lifting. So now it's in the fully extended position. Just making sure that it cycles properly. I'll put it back down to riding position. And it looks like everything works. So I hope you found that useful, or interesting at least. If you did, please give me a like so this YouTube will share it with others. And if you got a comment or a question, please feel free. I'm Joe, and this is Good Times RVing. Happy trails.